Welcome back, Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics as Non-Classic. This is episode number 376 and the 300th Double Shot. Someone pointed out 8 months ago that I need better lighting. You see that light there? That's my fan. That's the best I can do. I can't afford better lighting. I don't have the money for it. At all. I thought I'd get that out of the way. But since the 300 Double Shot, what could I do for my 300 Double Shot? How about review 2 Superman trades? And these Superman trades are the first 2 Superman trades of the collect issues from the Rebirth Superman series. Well, Superman Volume 3. Now these are the 5th and 6th DC Rebirth trades I've actually reviewed. This one here is the second volume I've actually reviewed, but yeah. Now both these 2 books contain the first 13 issues of the current volume of the series, plus the DC Rebirth one-shot. Let's start with this one, Volume 1, Son of Superman, by Pierre J. Tomasi, Patrick Gleason, Doug Mankey, Jorge Jimenez, Mick Gray, and Jamie Mendez. Now, the Rebirth one-shot, this one is done by, let's see, this one is done by, it's written by Tomasi and Gleason, but the artwork in here is done by Doug Mankey. Yeah, look at this splash page of Superman versus Doomsday. Yeah, basically giving a nod to the fact that, yep, Doomsday fought him. And look, his apparent death. And they bring out the regeneration matrix, which I think was used. I don't remember if it really was used. But yeah, it was nice. Now Gleason himself does the artwork for pretty much the first, like, all 6 issues that are in this trade. Yeah, he does all 6 issues. Every single one of them. Yep. Now, this storyline pretty much is just sort of, it's kind of a continuation of the Superman Lois and Clark mini-series that Dan Jurgens and Lee Weeks did, which was awesome, by the way. And in this particular storyline, Superman basically, well, also we see the introduction of a character named Kathy, who apparently John has a crush on, and her grandfather, Mr. Cobb. Yep. And of course, they're there to set up a much later storyline, which is going on right now. I mean, yeah, you can have a storyline now. Pretty much this is basically now, yeah, planting seeds for stuff happen much later. That is fine, as long as there's a payoff. And there is currently right now with the Black Dawn storyline right now, which for some reason Patrick Gleason is no longer the artist on that book, and he's no longer listed as the co-writer for some reason. I don't know why though, but yeah. Yeah. So we also see the return of the Eradicator, the way he really looks. Yeah, the way he looked previously, looked like he was covered in kryptonite, and basically anytime he was around the New 52, the Pro/1 Superman, he nearly killed him almost anytime he went near him. And now we have the actual Eradicator. But at the end of the storyline, Eradicator apparently dies, but he comes back in Action Comics. Yeah, he's back in the post-Superman Reborn storyline. But unlike in Action Comics where it sets up that crossover, this one does not set up that crossover at all. This one just does whatever the heck it wants. But this is still really good. Also, Krypto's in here as well. So yeah, you have the creative team of Batman and Robin doing this book, so not a bad idea, especially you have a character like Superman who's basically a husband and father. So you have father-son duo just like Batman and Robin, though the book is called Superman. Yep. I give this book a 9 out of 10. Amazing. Alright. Next up is Volume 2, Trials of the Super. So this one contains issues 7 to 13. Now this one has so different artists. Now Pierre Tomasi writes all the issues in here. Gleason writes all the issues, but he only draws 2 out of the 7 issues in this trade. Um, let's see. What's the name of the first artist in here? It's not Doug Mankey. It's the first issue in here is just a standalone issue with just Clark, basically the Kent family going to the Hamilton County farm, and the artwork is actually really good. I think it's Jorge Jimenez who does the artwork in this issue. Yeah, it's Jorge Jimenez. Yeah, he's the one who does this issue. Doug Mankey does issues 8 and 9 and 11 to 13. Yeah, 11 to 13. I'll get to the storyline, which this cover is basically representing in a minute. 11 and not 11, 13. 12 and 13 is simply a two-parter featuring Superman teaming up with a Frankenstein monster from the Frankenstein Ancient Shades series. Yeah, when I told Tivia about the stuff that happened in the series, he had never read the series before, so I recommend he check it out. It's actually a pretty dang good comic book. It was too bad the book got canceled after only publishing 16 issues in issue 0. And also was also last time the bride of Frankenstein was last seen. Of course, they referenced stuff that happened in that very book. Yep. As for Frankenstein monster himself, prior to this two-part, the last time I physically saw him was in the Savage Dawn storyline, which he didn't show up that much in it, but since the end of Frankenstein Shades series, he's popped up now and again in DC Universe. He showed up in Just Like Dark series. He showed up for a handful of issues of Batman and Robin. I don't think there was anything else. Aside from Savage Dawn, nothing really much else. I mean, you could say Future's End, but that's an alternate timeline, so I don't count that one. So present day stuff, he hasn't really done that much stuff. I mean, the biggest thing he's done is show up in Justice League Dark or maybe Savage Dawn, but that's really much it. So yeah, it's nice to see the guy. Yeah, it's just tracking down some criminal and referencing some stuff that happened in Frankenstein Ancient Shade, which I kind of wish they would throw in like a little nod, like Aaron knows now. Superman does know about Shade. He remembers Shade from the previous universe, so yeah, him knowing about Shade, yeah, that's like, I'm kind of glad the fact that Peter Tomasi writes the fact that yeah, Superman does know about Shade. He's very familiar with it. I don't think he's ever worked with him before that I can think of. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if he has or not. He may have, but I don't know. But one thing I do know about Shade, basically, they deal with supernatural threats. That's the whole point of the agency itself. And Father Time in the DC universe, in the reboot of the universe, is in the body of a little girl wearing a sailor suit and a domino mask. Yeah, that's Father Time. No, seriously. As for the story, basically, which this cover represents, which I saw promotions for this one. I thought this was going to be like an arc like the first one. Nope. This is a quick little two-parter. Yeah. Which simply put, the whole point of the two-parter is that Damian meets John. And of course, we see characters from the Robinson and Batman series, like the female Nobody, Goliath, who also is currently in Teen Titans right now. But pretty much the whole point of this two-parter is simply put a backdoor pilot to the Super Sons series that Peter J. Tomasi writes with Phil Jimenez as the artist. That's really the whole point of this two-part storyline. It's good. It's great the fact that you got a chance to see the son of Batman meeting the son of Superman. Yeah, it's really good. Josh Hayes himself actually reviewed this two-parter because it was necessary, and plus led to Super Sons, which is actually a pretty good comic book. It's only about 3 issues in, I believe it is. Yeah, 3 issues in the Super Sons series, and the current arc of Superman takes place after the first arc of Super Sons, because they mentioned the Kid of Hazel, which is going to go right now. So you can kind of say that maybe that the Super Sons series takes place in the background of the series, but who knows? But another really good trade. I do recommend getting it if you're a fan of Superman along with the first one. I don't know when Volume 3 is going to come up, but it's nice the fact I was able to do the first 2 trades in one video. So, yeah. Oh yeah, just point out the second issue, simply put, it just putting these 2 on trial, like going through like a survival course. Like, they take away, like, For Robin, they take away his. I think they let him keep his utility belt, but they take away his cape and his Robin symbol. For Superboy, they take away his cape and his zipper of his jacket zipper, which they do eventually get back. Yep. And as for the Miss Nobody character, it was heavily implied in the Robinson Batman series Damian had a thing for her, even though that she kind of hates Damian for killing her father. Yeah, that was the whole point of the first arc of the Robinson Batman series. When she showed up, she said she wanted to kill Damian for killing her father. Yep. But John himself has no interest in her at all. The only girl he has interest in is Kathy. Cute little girl who is basically around his age. Now Damian is it's said in Teen Titans he's 13. But I do have a question about that. How old is John? I highly doubt by looking at him. He doesn't look like he's 10. I could say he's basically 13 as well. Who knows? It's never stated exactly how old John is. He could be 13. Who knows? I'm going to give this book a 9 out of 10. Alright, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, which is episode 377 and Doubleshot number 301. Okay? But until then, I will see you there. Bye.